And first tonight, we can reveal that a man found dead on the streets in Nottingham had turned down 2 offers of a place in a homeless shelter. Paramedics were called after he was discovered in sub-zero temperatures on Tuesday morning.
Well, tonight, a homeless woman who's been sleeping nearby tells us that it could well have been her. Meanwhile, Nottingham City Council has announced extra winter support for people who are sleeping rough. Well, our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball is in Nottingham City Centre for us tonight. Jeremy, good evening to you. Now, do we know any more about the man who died?
Well, yes, Anne, he was found in that alley. It's right next to the plush Hilton Hotel here. Now, we don't know the reason he died, and the police say they're not treating this as suspicious. So far, he hasn't been formally identified. But I do understand that he'd been offered help by the city's Roughsleeping outreach team. Now, that was back in July and August. On the first 2 occasions, they tried to get him into a night shelter. The third and final time, they referred him to a drop-in centre, but he didn't take up those offers, and they hadn't seen him since. And today I found one couple who've been sleeping rough nearby. They've both refused tickets back to hometowns where they'd be entitled to housing. Stephen told me he's too scared because of drug debts in Derby, and Jade says this man's death has hit them hard.
I was in bits because you don't know who's going to be next, like, you know, in the freezing cold and that, and, you know, as it's really cold, you don't know, you got to try your hardest to keep warm and that, and it hurts because you don't know if it's going to be you going to be found dead or someone else is close to you or one of your friends or anything.
Oh, Jeremy, this death sounds just tragic. But, you know, I guess the question is this a one-off or not?
It's not, Anne. The latest official figures say 48 homeless people died right across the East Midlands last year. Now, of course, a lot of those won't have been on the streets. They might have been in hostels or night shelters, for instance. And a large rise in that figure nationally has largely been put down to drug poisoning. But now Nottingham City Council has announced a package of additional winter support, and that includes the Nottingham Winter Shelter for people sleeping rough, as well as free hot meals and showers, and what's called a sit-up service at the fire station when temperatures drop below 0. Now, of course, there's similar help in Derby and Leicester as well, and if you do spot someone sleeping rough, although street outreach teams want to hear from you, one way to get in touch with them is online at streetlink.org.uk.